Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to do a team building guide for the new Dokkanfest LR INT Broly. So he currently has not released, but I like to get these videos out like at least a couple of days before the banners drop, so players can get ready and know what types of teams they want to use for the character. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to show you a team build for the INT Broly as the leader, and then talk about some team build options. If you watched my previous video on the Carnival Tech Broly, just know that you can also use him as the leader and simply just slot the new INT Broly onto any of those team builds from that video, right? So let's go ahead and hop in right away. I'm for now going to be using this STR Broly as the placeholder, but this would represent the new INT Broly because, you know, he's from the same movie and everything, so I figured why not, let's use this guy. So you would obviously run your INT Broly in slot 1, and he is leading a few teams. Let me pull it up here really quick. So the new Broly is leading the new category, which is Uncontrollable Power, Revenge, and Planetary Destruction. So those are the kind of the team options we get. Now, the one thing when building with this INT Broly, what's really valuable about him is that he has a domain that you can activate turn 1. There's two conditions, though, that you could activate. One of two, right? You don't have to activate both. But either if you're going against, I think it's a Goku family enemy, or if your full rotation is Uncontrollable Power, you can pop the domain right away. Now, the reason why this is significant is because on the team, you're probably going to want to run AGL Broly, and his domain is really important because his transformation is tied to it. So normally running multiple domains on the team is bad because you get domain clash, you don't know which one to do. But this guy can't do his domain till turn 5. So if you activate the new Broly's domain turn 1, it's going to run out and be done just in time for this guy to go into his domain. So it helps you twofold. One is you're not going to have domain clash. And number 2, you're going to have more uptime on domains, which is going to make your team strong, right? Now, the trick to that is if you want to load in turn 1 and guarantee that you can do that, you have to run a full Uncontrollable Power team. Now, you don't have to have a full Uncontrollable Power team to get it turn 1. It just means that there's a chance that if, you know, the 1 or 2 non-Uncontrollable Power units are on the starting rotation, you're not going to be able to do it right away. So you're gonna have to value like how important that is to you to be able to transform instantly. Obviously, once you get your rotation set, as soon as you have full Uncontrollable Power, you will be able to transform instantly. And then obviously, if you're going against Goku family, it doesn't matter. So the first team build I'm going to show is what I think I'm going to try starting off with, and it's going to be full Uncontrollable Power, so that it's going to guarantee I can transform immediately, right? So you've obviously got the new INT Broly, which we're subbing in there. You obviously want to run the Tech Carnival Broly. He's absolutely insane. The Tech EZA LR Broly, I just did a showcase on him. He's an absolute monster. You want to run him. AGL Broly you would like to run, so it's almost a full Broly team. And then we're going to round it out with Cell Max, who's like redonkulous. And then the 7th slot is the one where some people, I think there's a little bit of variety of things you could run there. I think I'm going to try Physical Kid Buu. Physical Kid Buu is on Uncontrollable Power, and he's a really good support unit, and he's defensive enough to live a lot of the tough bosses in the game. So I think Physical Kid Buu is a natural slot in here. And what I like about Physical Kid Buu is on the turns that Kid Buu is floating, let's say you have Cell Max up and you have his lock on, you could put Cell Max in slot 2, lock the enemies onto him, which will protect the rest of the rotation, but then he's going to pick up big bad bosses from Physical Kid Buu. So the problem with Cell Max on the Broly team, he's good enough like with or without big bad bosses, but by having this Kid Buu floating around, it gives us the option to get this guy big bad bosses on at least a turn or two, which I think is going to be really good. So that's probably, like, to me, this is, I think, the best team starting off. Now, that's going to fluctuate because I'm expecting some more EZAs yet and at least another Broly unit. So we'll talk about that. So what are some other units you can run? You might not have this exact setup. So let's talk about other things you can run. So obviously you can run Turles, and I think Turles fits really nice into that Kid Buu slot. Maybe you don't have Cell Max, you run both of them together. The only thing with Team Turles is they are not on the category, the Uncontrollable Power. So just know, if you open with Turles and the new Broly, he will not be able to use his domain. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But Turles, definitely a good unit I could recommend running. Then you get access to all these Buu units, right? And so all of these Buu units are definitely good enough to run. So Tech Exchange Buu, we got Physical Buu tanks, and then we've got the INT Dokkanfest Boo. They're all good enough to run if you want to. So depending on where your account is at, maybe you don't have all of the Brolys, whatever, you could definitely like try to make together like a Boo rotation. I don't know that I'd recommend just running like a random Boo unit other than Kid Boo because he's a support. But I would say any of these other Boos, you kind of want to have them like as a rotation, so they're going to link really well and kind of do better offensively and defensively that way. Likewise, you could run Tech Ultimate Gohan, and you can run like this Ultimate Gohan. Now, being that Brolys are Saiyans, you can get away with running some super class Saiyans, but Ultimate Gohan, as we know, kind of has their own special link set. They don't typically link well with a lot of other units, but putting them up together could actually be very good. Now, I do believe they have shocking speed, do they not? Let me see here. I think when he goes to Ultimate Gohan, let me check here. Do we have shocking speed? We do. So I do believe some of the Broly share shocking speed. So like that could actually be decent just to get that with Ultimate Gohan. So those are units you definitely can run, especially if you like Ultimate Gohans. Some more units we could run. Obviously, we want to talk about INT Dokkanfest Broly. I actually think the new LR INT Broly actually makes this guy better for kind of a silly reason. But the new INT Broly has a revive, and you actually want to revive because he gets some pretty substantial buffs after reviving. So even though this guy's criticized for being, not as good as what we want, it can actually benefit you because if we look at like this Broly team, right? Like this massive, ridiculous team I'm putting together, it's kind of hard to die. Like, I definitely think AGL Broly early on can get you killed before he transforms. In my build, Kid Buu definitely early on could get you killed if you don't have his, like, damage reduction built up. Or, like, whatever you put in this slot, right? Like, maybe Turles could die, something like that. But this is a very, like, defensively sound team, right? So, INT Broly, actually, this is what I like. Because I don't think INT Broly here is bad. It's just you have to build up with him and you need time to do that, and you can get caught fairly easily early. But if this guy like never gets supered in a run, which definitely can happen, he's actually pretty good and can output a lot of damage. So what the new LR does, he's kind of like an insurance policy to let you run this guy. Just use him as freely as possible, let him stack whatever, and then if he accidentally gets caught, it's actually a good thing, because then you get your revive, and then you can hopefully get to this guy's active skill where he's outputting 25, 30 mil shots with additionals and doing a ton of damage. Like, I think it actually makes, by getting a revive unit on the team, it really does help this INT Broly. So if you're someone that's like a fan of this guy, defending him, want to use him, I think he's actually going to become more usable. So definitely rejoice if you like INT Broly and want to try running him again. And then legitimately, this LR STR Broly, this old Dokkanfest STR Broly, and I put the wrong Broly. I meant to do the old physical Dokkanfest Broly, but I think any three of those could get a super easy A. So I'm not actually talking about the Broly movie one. I put the wrong one there. This is the old physical one, the Z Broly. But I think it's highly likely that either this STR Broly or the LR STR Broly, one of them has the super easy A. If they don't super easy A Broly during this celebration, then I think Dokkan seriously missed an opportunity, because this is the ideal time to do it. Both of these are super fitting for super easy A, because this guy's literally the oldest Dokkanfest in the game's history. So he's way old enough to super easy A. This guy is one of the first, if not the first, like summonable LR in Dokkan history. So he would definitely qualify to be the first LR super easy A, and he fits the celebration so well. So if they don't super easy A one of those two, I think they're going to be crazy. So I think the super easy A, and up until this point, every super easy A has been good. They have not fumbled one of those yet. So assuming they don't absolutely fumble those, either of these, or both, if they super easy A both, could definitely slot onto the team. So keep those in your back pocket. I also just saw, Carnival Trunks is there. I don't recommend running him, but he's a runnable unit, especially if you're going to run some super class. But he's a Saiyan, a Super Saiyan. He can link with Broly. And then obviously Hirudegarn is there as a great option you can run because of his dodge ability. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much the way I would team build for this Broly. Like I said, I think for me, this is how I'm going to start off. Right here. I'm going to start off with something like this as my ideal starting team. I think the Kid Buu slot is something I'll play around with depending on what else comes out. But I think, I love having a support unit if I can work it into the team. And this Kid Buu is definitely good enough and defensive enough support to run. So let me know what you guys all think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.